has been a true blue friend. Of course, we share the sorority. Our husbands were dear friends. We first met when I was dating my husband, and he and I were students at Clark, and Dee's boyfriend, Joe, was a student at Clark, and she was a student at Spelman. And they assumed we could cook, so they wanted some fried chicken. And I kind of looked at Dee, and Dee kind of looked at me. But somehow or other, we managed to get through that fried chicken, but I don't think either of us at the time knew how to cook. It's just been a pleasure having Dee as a part of my life. Like I said, Dee is, I don't ever remember her really being angry at anybody. She's been a wonderful educator. She loves those children. She loved them dearly and was very dedicated. She's been dedicated to anything that she's had a part of, that she's taken a part of. And Dee, I want you to know I love you very much. We've been through a lot. We've been through losses together, but we've always been there for each other. And many happy returns.
We have never taken a break from Delta, and that's because of Dee and a couple of, but Dee took good care of us, but it was always soft-spoken. So at that time, I was pretty young. At 65, Dee came, had on that little cute outfit. Nobody had a band. I had a band. Nobody was dancing. Guess who was dancing? She got the party started. No one was dancing. So finally, I guess everybody started feeling guilty. So they would go there and dance with her. Before long, everybody was dancing. So I had a very successful party because of Dee. But the last thing I'm going to say, I picked Dee up to go to a luncheon over at Greenbrier recently with Barbara invited us to a luncheon. And so I don't know what I did wrong, but as I was going down 155, going like back to interstate, you know you get back to 155, going back to Decatur. I went the wrong way. I should have gone around the interstate and turned. I went straight. I think that took me over by Lakewood somewhere. I was as lost. So I'm still not gonna put on my GPS, right? So I'm just driving. Dee is not saying anything, but I can tell she's getting a little nervous. So finally, I said, Dee, look at this thing right here. You see this thing? It says I am going north. If I'm going north, I'm going to pass 20, going west, east. So she still didn't believe it. She started, I said, Dee, I'm going to get you home, I promise. So when I finally got home, I called Tiffany. I said, I got her back safely. But I love you, Dee. You know I do. And we talk on the phone. We'll keep talking on the phone.
Joe Strawbridge's little brother, as I was always referenced when I went to Clark College. And I'm representing. I got my Clark College tie on. But I was blessed to have two of the best siblings on the planet. My family knows that I'm the emotional one, but Dolores is categorically my sister-in-law, but she's my bonus sister, and she's always treated me lovingly. I've always been welcome in her home.
For a couple of days.
Yeah. And just seeing all the people here today and seeing the reflections of my brother and my sister, these are tears of joy because I love my family. And I'm so glad I was able to come and be supportive of you.
We're waiting on you, Mike.
I got a little ways to go. Welcome to the club of octogenarians. Yeah, that Clark College education paid off. But Dolores, I love you. I will always support you and be there for you. Thank you.
I have been married into this family as of this past October for 30 years. I am so thankful to have a family. This is my sister. I may be married into the family. She may be technically my sister-in-law. You know, people say sister-in-love, but I say sister. I was blessed to meet them one Christmas day in St. Louis when Michael was trying to have interest in me and I wasn't really trying to have interest in him. But he had been so nice to me and then invited me to his family's Christmas Day thing. And Joe and Dolores were there. I ended up spending the whole weekend with them from Christmas, the day after Christmas, and realized that family and that love that was generated there. And I've never, ever not felt that love. I've never not felt a part of the family. I've never not felt that I was not Dolores' sister and that I was not really a Strawbridge. And I thank God for that kind of love and for that kind of reception. I'm always excited when I come to Atlanta because that love, and that comes from the matriarch of this family that has shown that kind of love and it is exhibited not only in that, but look at this daughter that she has raised that continues that on. And these nieces that I have that show that love. So I am so excited to have been able to be here to celebrate this day with you and to feel this love that the community that I feel, this community has felt from you as well. So we're here and so thankful to be able to celebrate you.
Nana's been a mother to me since I was a little girl, even after my mom passed. And I really cherish her so much. And I'm so grateful for the relationship we had, even when she kicked me out in 2017.
She was just punching you, baby.
But I'm grateful that she did because that's where I started my career in Arizona. And without her, I wouldn't have been able to do that and be successful. And she always pushed me. She always made sure she called me. Always sent cards. I still have cards from her when I was a little girl that I keep. So I just really love this family, and I'm just so happy to be here and so happy to see all the love. And just want to say that because I don't want to kind of work.
Years old and I'm diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, first Dee reached out because she'd also gone through the same thing. And she came to my house and she said, Deborah, so when the lady left, she said, now I'm not a real open prayer like that, but I can sing. She said, so I just want to sing. So she sang and we cried. And so I'll never forget, I don't even remember the song she sang. She said, but I can sing for you. So she sat there in my living room and she just sang the song. So I have a lot of those touching stories of my breast cancer, and I've gone through a lot, y'all. She's been there for everything I've gone through. I have gone through 2 breast cancers, 1 stroke. Oh, speaking of my stroke, I was had been sick a while, feeling real bad for a while, and so Dee and I was going to a breast cancer party at the doctor's house, and I was feeling bad. Came home. It was during the Christmas. I came home, and something said, "Call Dee." I don't even know why, but I knew we were going to the party, so I let her know I didn't feel well. Anyway, that night while I was talking to her, I had a stroke. And she said, I said, didn't my voice sound funny to you? She said, yeah, hang up the phone. I'm going to call your husband. Then I'm going to call 911. So I hung up the phone, but when the phone rang, my husband wasn't going to answer it because he know I'm back in the back. I'm going to answer the phone. She said, Deborah, hang the phone up and leave it hung up. So I hung it up again, and again when she called, I answered it. So she said, so I think she ended up calling another friend, and that person called my husband. And when he came to the back, I was on the floor. So Dee saved my life. If I hadn't been talking to her, I would have gone to sleep, and I would have woken up a vegetable. So she saved my life.
Like on suffer 5 heart attacks, a stroke, just got out of a car accident, lost this left arm. And then Mr. Strawbridge and Miss Strawbridge used to sit around the house down in the basement in his little domain. We used to do some things. And one day I was down there the picture fell off the wall of their sewing. And Miss Strawbridge was looking for me. I had ran. Up those steps I went. Miss Strawbridge said, "What good you gonna do? And you running and leaving?" I said, "You better come on. That's all I got." But through it all, they have been through so much with me. I lost my mom. They've been right there. Tiffany, my sister, my doctor. I get you. And then I call my niece. All three of them. They grow up to be some nice women. Especially that little one. I seen them some high heel. I started telling Ma to throw away the key and lock the door. Because I couldn't believe Mackenzie, not walking in no aisle and Delson right here. I used to be scared of her because she don't mind fighting nobody. She did not mind fighting. She was ready for them. She was ready for them. And all I got to say is to meet people like that, even down to Uncle Mike and his beautiful wife and those two sons, I have enjoyed it the whole way through. Miss Strawbridge, she had my back when Dr. Lowry tried to take me from her. Dr. Lowry, Miss Strawbridge's daughter, Dr. Lowry and Miss Strawbridge and his daughter got into it on the telephone. Miss Strawbridge said, "I just loaned you to him to you for a little while, and y'all want to keep him for a whole while." She said, "That ain't working." She said, "He got to come back." And ever since then, I'm a son, brother, uncle. I'm all that wrapped up into one. And right now, they still call me. When he used to get out of the hospital, cry baby, Miss Strawbridge, Tiffany Donald, I really need you. You'll go spend the night with Mama. They try to get me to move in, Mr. Strawbridge. Ain't no man coming over here staying with me. And they still try to do that to this day. I said, I'm through with that. I left it alone. But Miss Strawbridge, you is a phenomenal black woman. Thank you for that. Thank you.
I like to say a couple things. Okay, so back in my adolescence or whatever, I was a bit of a handful. I can admit that. But Nana always took me in, y'all. Every time I would have some, discrepancies with my mom or something, my Nana would be like, "You just come on over here. You be okay. Come on." And just let me, calm down or whatever, and then go back home. And it just always made us closer. And it just, I don't know. She was always there for me with that. We've all lived with Nana. All of her grandkids, rent free, like, so, it's just beautiful. The last time I actually lived with her, I had the joy of making her dinner every night and watching TV with her and talking and laughing and just enjoying those memories, and it meant a lot to me. Then I went and got my own place, which, yes. But I was very happy to enjoy those moments with her, and she's the epitome of a lady, the Southern belle that you always see in those movies that are really quaint and really coy, and I just feel like I need to follow in those footsteps in some sort of fashion. What Mom said earlier, like, I'm working on being more ladylike and feminine, but as far as like an example, I have that, and I have no excuse not to be great. So, yes, I shall try to follow in the footsteps of the ones before me, and make y'all proud. So, that's it. I love her. You gonna eat them? I love you too.
So like Tyler said, all of the grandkids have had the pleasure of staying with Nana. Me not once, but now twice.
Me too.
And right. And I will say it's a joy and it's a pleasure. She always makes sure that, I'm taken care of, that I have everything that I need. And like my mom said, that she would always take us to our doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. When she would pick us up from school, we would go to the movies. We always know we always go to the movies with Nana. Oh yeah, and Piccadilly and all of that. But like also like everybody says, she's the epitome of class, epitome of a lady, of being a Southern belle. But you know, little snide remark every here and there just to get you in line, just a little bit. Such a very classy cuss out.
Very classy.
But she is also the epitome of love. Everything that she says is from a place of love, and anytime she's trying to get somebody right, it's because she loves them enough to say something in general. And even with all of our pets that we've had run up in her house.
I don't got no pets.
Okay. They always love to go to Nana, no matter who it is, no matter who's in the room. Even like I have a cat, his name is Sebastian. He loves Nana. Like in the morning, he's screaming at me to let him upstairs to go say hi to Nana. And every time I leave for work, they're always cuddled up in the chair. And I've never felt so at home in a place that wasn't my home, you know, where I could be like all comfortable and like know that it's my grandma's house, it's Nana's house. So I just want to say I love you so much. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, dear Dolores. Happy birthday to you.
You all have made me very happy because I've been crying forever. And today, and I didn't not one today. Thank you. I love you. And you can still come talk to me and stuff. You know.
We love you, Nana.
Yeah. And all of us have been.
I spoke earlier when I was thanking you all, but I just want to reflect just a little bit on the awesomeness of my mother. You know, the phenomenal woman, Ravina could probably recite it. She did it for the Clark CAU, Miss CAU pageant. But my mother really is a phenomenal woman. When I was younger, I used to want to be a teacher because my mom, of course, is a teacher, retired teacher. But I used to want to be a teacher. I want to be just like my mother. She's always been a lady, you know, always very proper. I struggled in some of those areas. I tried. I always tried to be a lady, but I wasn't necessarily always proper. But Mom, you've been a great example. And to watch my mother, you know, and she knows I say this in love. You all know I'm always telling the truth. My mom was an only child for a long time. Her cousin Bill can attest to the fact that she was a bit spoiled. My father worsened that condition. Yes, he worsened that condition. And so my mom had to start being a caretaker. It was a challenge for her. But I just want to say, you did a great job.
Yes.
You took excellent care of my dad. And I know he was your husband before he was my dad, but I knew him as my dad before I knew he was your husband. You know what I mean? So that's my dad, right? But you did a phenomenal job taking care of him. And you have been a great example of what being a long-suffering mother is, because I wasn't always polished. I had a few challenges in childhood, and my mother endured those challenges. My family doesn't have memory of that stuff, nor do her friends or anybody else in here. I was an improved woman by the time I had kids. Okay, no faces. Anyway, but I just want to say, you know, my mother, I don't know what the inside of my children's doctor's office looks like, because my mother took them. I don't know what the dentist's office looks like, because my mother took them. My mother took our children everywhere they needed to go. So she was a super mom. And so she's still a model for me on how to be a good mother, because she's been long-suffering with me and the kids. So I just want to thank you for being such a loving woman. And to hear stories about how you've been with your friends, you know, you always find out about people when other people are talking. I didn't know my mom did all that stuff. And I just think that's even more admirable. So that just put more notches in your belt of superwomanness, you know, if that's a word. But I really admire you. And even with this new diagnosis Mom got, she is taking it graciously. And she's recognizing, and she's trying, and she still wants to get out, and she still wants to do things, and she wants to acknowledge people. And so I really thank you all. So thank you guys. I'm gonna be quiet, but I just want you to know you really are a phenomenal woman. Yeah, it's okay. We got tissue.
I walk into a room just as cool as you please. And to a man, those fellows stand or fall down on their knees. Then they swarm around you like a swarm of honeybees. I say, it's the fire in your eyes, the flash of your teeth, the swing in your waist, and the joy in your feet. You are a woman. phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. That's you, Mama
Thank
Strawbridge.
you.
All right.
Thank you.